Summer of Yes season here on the Shaun Proulx Show, where we encourage you to say yes to everything that comes your way in life, the inspirations, the opportunities, the invitations, the impulses that come your way, and watch what kind of magic you allow into your life in the doing. And I know this because we've been doing it for so long, but the origin story of this Summer of Yes concept is about 8 or 9 years old. My dog, Ella, who's no longer with us, and I were out having a walk. And I was having kind of a sort of blah existence, I guess. It was okay. It was just sort of like whatever. It was summertime. Summer was kicking off. And I noticed on this walk that my dog was saying yes to everything. She was here, she was there, she was smelling this, she was checking that out. She was saying yes, 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 as we walked. And I thought, what if I said yes all summer long to life? And as I said, every invitation, impulse, inspiration, everything that came my way, I was going to say yes to. And I did. And the magic and growth and opportunity and friendships and experiences that came to me because I said yes were profound. And so we've continued this Summer of Yes tradition for 400 years here on the show. And that's what you're going to hear all summer long, inspirational stories to encourage you to say yes to life. Hashtag me, hashtag Summer of Yes, and tag me at Shaun Proulx, at Shaun Proulx Show on Twitter, and on Instagram, I'm at Shaun Proulx Media Inc. And share your big yeses. I want to know what you do this summer and the big yeses and the big wins that you get from saying yes. So without further ado, let's get the show going. Here is the first Summer of Yes interview for you. And I want to welcome to the show someone who's got a great Summer of Yes story for us. His name's Ian Cook. And Ian, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks very much, Shaun, for having me.
Awesome. You are in the homes business.
That's right.
If I were to describe your bio.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair.
You look like a rock star.
Well, that's relatively new, the look. But
I like the look. You look like a rock star, but you've been in the homes business for how long?
Almost 40 years.
40? You don't look a day over 50.
No, almost 40 years.
So 40 years of doing in and around the same thing.
Yeah.
And you decided to say yes to something completely, this is one of those change your life stories. You decided to say yes to something completely different than being in the homes business. Go.
Well, I during the depths of the pandemic, I decided to pursue a dream that I've had really since I played my first high school band, which was to write and record my own music. And so as we got into the process and as I learned how to do it, and as I was able to apply my project management skills and my ability to find the right people in the right place at the right time, I managed to put together some songs, and it's awesome.
I give verklempt listening to that because I'm so big on following your dream. And you've had this since high school.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a tap. I'm a faucet.
Okay.
Aaron will tell you, my producer will tell you, I cry at the drop of a hat. So the idea that you've had this dream since you were in high school, that you didn't pursue and are now, what made you, besides the pandemic, go for it?
Well,
it's just so beautiful, you guys.
Well, it's really just because it's fun, and that's really the main reason. And and I've had over the years the opportunity to play in a number of cover bands, and at the same time kind of noodle. I'm a piano player by training, and noodle on the piano, and so there was all these improvisational ideas bouncing around in my head, and I like to be active, and so it seemed like every time I would go to the gym or every time I go for a bike ride, I'd be in the shower and I'm like, all of a sudden this song idea would come
calling you.
It's calling me, and then I'd repeat it over and over in my head, and rush out to my car and grab my phone and sing this thing into the phone, which kind of became the starting point. And this was happening a lot, Shaun, and so it was sort of like, well, gee, I think it's time that we got our act together and did something with it.
A lot of people would have ignored that happening a lot.
Yeah.
They would have had that niggling, that nagging of whether it's the idea for their book, for their YouTube show, for their singing career, for their band, for whatever it might be, or for trying that new recipe. They ignore the idea. Why did you not ignore the idea?
Well, I think the first thing, as I mentioned earlier, we had a bit more time on our hands, and we were spending more time at home. That was the first thing. But I think that I looked at this about 20 years ago, and I think I got overwhelmed with the notion of the complexity of recording software and the complexity of the way that I'd chosen to interface that recording software. I had a very complicated mixing thing, and
already my eyes are glazing over.
Yeah, terrible. So this time I took a slightly different approach, and one of my son's also a musician. He's a bass player, and one of his buddies is a really good engineer. So I managed to hook up with him. And I wanted him to teach me how to use the software. So over the next 7 months, he would come over twice a week, spend 2 hours with me, record tracks, and then slowly but surely build my knowledge base such that I could I don't want to be an engineer, but I want to be competent.
I know what you're doing.
Exactly. I want to be competent enough that I can build a reasonable sounding demo. And we got there over that time period. And then, and then I sort of started, we'll say, shopping my product to a few of my higher level musician friends. And they said, well, gee, and this is a good start, but if you really want to make this the best it can possibly be, let's put real players on this thing.
Wow.
And he accessed a tremendous number of players, some from the GTA. I've got a fabulous drummer, Mark Kelso. Got a fabulous sax player by the name of Rob Carley. I could go on and on with all these guys that
have come into your orbit.
Come into my orbit and have delivered, fabulously for me. And it becomes infectious once you start. And part of it as well, I would say, Shaun, I tend to be a bit obsessive compulsive.
Okay.
So when I start something, I really dig in, perhaps to a fault, too much. That I think would be this followed the pattern on many other things over the years that I've enjoyed.
I call that the path lighting up, though. When you step into the wish, the dream for yourself, and you said it was for fun. I would never want to discount the role of fun or joy when we're pursuing something. If it's fun to you, if it's joyful to you, do it, and then the path lights up. And that's why you're attracting all of these great people, including a mutual friend of ours, another great person, who's I know has been of assistance to you as well. So you're attracting all these great people into your orbit, and you're even changing what you look like. Because he walks in here, you'd think a member of the Rolling Stones has walked in. Quite frankly, long hair, it looks great, and this great tee with 2 skulls on it, and the deck of cards, ace, diamond, club, and spade in their eyes. You look like a rock star. What's going on there? Are you embodying the dream now?
Well, yes, I am embodying the dream. We've had a couple of very successful shows locally, and we've got a bunch more coming. Of course, the challenge is this year we're a little late to the game. All of the guys in my band are full-time players, and they have commitments. So we're hoping in the fall to really launch into something a little bit more serious and line up a number of shows really across the province and try to introduce the unsuspecting public to.
Are you embodying the dream, or is the dream embodying you?
Well, it's exactly. We're certainly not done yet. We're certainly not done yet, and there will come a point in time where I will have satisfied the goal that I have, and which, frankly, I don't really know what the goal is, but it'll evolve.
I'm not that big on necessarily having an end point. It's just following the path.
Well,
see where it takes me in a lot of cases.
Absolutely.
Just saying yes along the way. Yes.
And it's really the number one thing about this. I am very realistic about, where I find myself at the stage of my life. And
you're not the next Britney Spears.
I'm not the next Britney Spears, no. But it's really not about that. It's the engagement that I get every day with all the people that I've had the opportunity to get introduced to, yourself included. It is really about a journey, and I'm on a wonderful journey. I just that's when I start to tear up when I think about it, because it's really so wonderful that I've had this opportunity at this stage in the game by saying yes to really achieve what has been a dream of mine for so many years.
Two grown men crying on the radio. One of your new singles that came out in June, Don't Say You're Leaving Me Today.
Leaving Me Now.
Leaving Me Now.
Leaving Me Now.
Leaving Me
right.
Now, even worse because that's a Red Hot Minute, is out on Spotify now. And let's have a listen. Lovely song.
Thank you.
All of that coming easy to you now?
Yes, it
just flows.
What happens, because I've been playing in cover bands for so long, Shaun, I've reverse engineered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs. Like 500 songs maybe. And I have enough basic piano knowledge and enough theory knowledge that by reverse engineering all of these songs to learn them by ear, it really gives you, I know how to set up from a pre-chorus to a chorus. I know I understand all the parts, the rhythmic elements, the bass, the how the drums work. I can program that on the software, but I just have an intuitive knowledge because I've been doing it so long. It's almost, when I sit down at the piano, I'm always amazed because I just improvise and I say to myself, where does this come from?
Right.
How does this happen?
It's coming through you, isn't it?
It's just an extension. My fingers are an extension of my brain, and my brain is almost on autopilot. So I've written 60 songs so far.
Jeepers.
I've got 30 that have all the professional players on it. We've mastered 11, and so I've got enough material for and some of I've got some really good stuff that is waiting to get finished, and I'm really excited about it. And Scott's helping me out, with a number.
Our mutual friend.
Yeah, our mutual friend. Scott's helping us out, and we may see some of my stuff getting on, perhaps on film and television. That's the other thing.
What do you say to people listening to this? You've scratched their itch. Everybody's got a dream that they haven't pursued, and someone's listening to this right now. What do you say to them about saying yes to the dream?
Well, what I say, and this is really the most important thing that I'm gonna relay to folks today is that you are absolutely never too old to pursue a dream. Okay, that is, age is just a number, and you're never too old to pursue your dreams. And I think I want to encourage, if I can do anything with this project, it's to encourage all of the garage band wannabes like myself, okay, that really want to see if they push the envelope, if they push the comfort zone a little bit, where can we end up, and recognize that where we end up, as we said earlier, it's not that important.
Right.
What's most important is the journey along the way. And that's what we live for.
And where can we find you online?
Well, the IanRichardsProject.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. And we have our website. And certainly we'd love to hear you listening to us on our favorite Sirius XM channel.
Smooth. I want to thank you, Ian Cook, for coming on and sharing your big Summer of Yes story with us and making me verklempt. I love a good cry on the radio. All the best to you.
Okay, well,
Much success.
Thank you so much, Shaun, for having me.